Over past few years, I've always been wondering how to measure teams' software delivery performance. I had couple teams, and I was wondering how I would be able to efficiently measure the software delivery performance metrics. And I was looking for something that would be quick, easy for everyone to understand, easy to measure. And then by accident, I stumbled upon DORA metrics, that is DevOps Research and Assessment metrics. At my work, there was a book review by the VPs on Science of DevOps Accelerate book. And in that book, there was mention of four metrics to measure teams' software delivery performance. So I'll go through those and then I'll explain what my experience was. The first is change lead time. So this is the time that takes for a team to deliver the code after the first commit of the feature to production successfully. And this is pretty not that complex to measure, but it gives sense of how fast the team is pushing their code to production. And then the second one was deployment frequency. This one was also very easy to measure, easy for to communicate, and easy for everyone to understand. So this one is the deployment frequency, the frequency with which the team pushes the code to production. And the third one was change fail rate. So this was more about safety, ensuring that the team doesn't push changes that fail in production. So this is the change fail rate is the percentage of total production changes that fail and then need rollback or need applying hot fixes. And the last one was mean time to restore the service. So this is also pretty common in the industry. So this one is the time it takes to restore the service in production. So these were the four metrics that I decided to use, and I know there were other flow metrics also, but I found them very complex to measure. But given the systems that I had at that time, the teams the tools that the teams were using, I found this four very easy to measure, not just for my team but for other teams also, because all these metrics for other teams were also uh, were available public within the organizations, within the company. So I was able to pull metrics for other teams as well and then compare with the team that I had. And we had long and hard conversations about each of those. And so this is the target. So if you want to be elite, then you really need to have on demand deployment frequency. You need to have lead time for changes less than an hour. Time to restore also need to be less than an hour, and change failure rate needs to be between 0 and 15%. I find 15% a little bit higher. um, so what I what my experience was that we started somewhere in the medium range. We were never low, so we were deploying once every quarter, maybe once a month, to production. And our lead time for changes was also very long because we had long QA cycle, which there was a lot of manual testing involved. Time to restore service was really quick, so we were less than an hour for sure for the teams that I had worked on. And change failure rate, it says 16 to 30%, but we were practically 0%. Definitely less than 5% for sure. So what we were lacking in becoming a high or elite team were the deployment frequency, lead time for changes. And within the team we had very hard conversations on we should deploy to production at least once every iteration. And then we worked out with the team. The team was really supportive on it. They bought the ideas. They bought the idea of doing this, and then I showed the matrix of other teams also, and they really bought into it. And eventually, um, by making some of the changes, taking on small incremental changes, working with the QMO team to make sure that they are able to test really quickly, we were able to reduce we were able to increase the deployment frequency from maybe once every month or once every quarter to once in 2 weeks. And I think sometimes we would also do once a week. So that was a big change for us because there was a lot of overhead in deploying to production, in terms of processes and testing, certification, things like that. But we were able to be in that high performance for deployment frequency. Lead time for change is also improved. And like I was saying, it was a little bit easier to measure deployment frequency, mean time to restore service, and change failure, but it was slightly complex to measure lead time. But that was, we did not have uh, between 1 day to 1 week. Our changes sometimes spanned more than that, sometimes. So it was kind of mixed, but we were able to move the needle from medium to the high. But I found it very challenging to go from high to elite at the so. But it's always good to have that north star in mind, to where we to what the end goal would be. And in spirit of continuous improvement, we need to the team needs to work on all of these and kind of improve, so that team is really truly agile in spirit as well. So this was my experience. Please share your experiences, and I would learn to learn more what your experiences were and the tools that you use to improve on some of these metrics. Thank you.